Hey, I'm Amy, studying media at the Uni of New South Wales, and this is What's News. So our first ever big story up for debate is Sydney's shark attacks.
I'm reporting live from Randwick, a shark spot away from the local beaches where the shark attacks have occurred. Follow me and find out exactly how these shark attacks have impacted the local community. I was just wondering, sir, how you feel about the current wave of shark attacks in Sydney, if you feel safe to go to the beach.
No, I didn't feel safe to the beach.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
It's a bit worrying. I haven't been down to the beach myself lately because I have been a bit worried about it.
The current wave of shark attacks has not deterred you from swimming.
No, it hasn't. I guess it's because I don't actually go out very far, and I don't think that the sharks would be swimming right up to the sand.
Do you think in time shark and man could peacefully coexist in the ocean?
Probably not, because human beings are extremely predatory.
Thank you, Jeremy. So quite a varied response from the public, with some people afraid to get back into the water, while others are sympathising with the sharks. Let's not forget though, the danger of sharks and what they can do to us is obviously very gruesome and grave. But this aside, do some newspapers make more of a meal of it than others? To find out, I headed off to UNSW's Journalism and Media Research Centre to speak to its director, Catherine Lumby. So the recent shark attacks in Sydney, how have they been portrayed by the different papers?
The Telegraph will go with, big photographs, probably kind of scary photographs of sharks, punchy headlines. And probably, it's a sort of news cycle story, so because there have been a couple of attacks, even on a day when there isn't a shark attack, they might have some photo of people at Bondi Beach with a sort of headline that suggests, wow, only the wary go into the water. Whereas newspapers like The Australian, which is a broadsheet newspaper, is going to be far more kind of information driven. It's going to rely more on experts.
Next on my list of experts was Gerard Goggin, Professor of Digital Communication, to see what he had to say.
You see in the reporting, for instance, as well as some of the tabloid papers, but even some of the others like the Sydney Morning Herald, an emphasis on actually some of the details that convey the horror. So one of the sharks was talked about as being as big as a small car. Another attack, they said it was like a machete, so it was sort of the violence that was done. So, one theme of the coverage has been to just accentuate, I suppose, the fear and some of the details that really play into the horror of that. And I think you can see that in different ways across different kinds of newspapers. And then there was a very interesting portrayal around the issues of environment and media. Is it the case that our kind of environmental emphasis now is leading to problems where nature is not as controlled by humans as it previously was?
So we've now gained advice from our very own media experts at the uni, and now it's time to get scientific. To really evaluate whether it's safe to get back into the water, we needed an academic opinion, so we spoke to Professor Ian Suthers, our all-round shark expert from Sydney Institute of Marine Science.
What is, I think, very distressing is about some of the tabloid newspapers that have really got in and tried to say that their sharks are just waiting around every corner to go and eat you as soon as you step foot into the beach. In fact, just like bumping into a snake in the woods, it's very difficult to actually see a shark. The total risk of dying at the beach is around 1 in 2 million. That might be heart attack or falling over and hitting your head in a rock. The risk of drowning at the beach, we know that there are many drownings that happen each year, certainly in 10s and 20s and 30s, all around Australia every year. The risk of drowning at the beach is about 1 in 3.5 million. The death by shark attack, 1 in 264 million.
And also Dr. Rob Brander, who specialises in the science of riptides and general coastal dangers at our beaches.
The thing about the shark attacks is that thousands of people go swimming and surfing on many beaches all summer long every year, and nothing happens, and then somebody's bitten by a shark and it's mass hysteria. But the thing is, most people don't realize, but there's things out there called rip currents, and there's a lot of them. There's about 17,000 rips at any given time. And in Australia during the summer months, somebody actually drowns in a rip on average every 3 days, and you never hear about it.
So to summarise, next time you see a big story in the paper, make sure you read all the views before you make your opinion. Don't just take the first article you read as the absolute truth. That's all from me, Amy. Hope to see you next time as we dig deep once again into the big stories of the day on What's News. Bye!